Hi everybody and welcome back to the channel. I'm going to have a bit of a tidy up and just explain where I'm at the moment. As you've been watching the Series 2 rebuild, I've gradually worked out a problem that I had with the hydraulic brake, which is here somewhere. The system that I was using is this system, excuse me, because it's got a bit of oil on it from being stood over there where some oil's leaked, but it's essentially the same as this back plate, which is which one I'm going to be putting on the GP when I get round to it. And if you remember in previous videos, I put this on the Series 2, a hidden master cylinder. What I consequently found was that the seals in here were leaking, and I was either getting really good brakes or really poor brakes using the scooter. So what I've decided, I'm going to ditch this now. I'll show you how I diagnosed it. I used the Vespa Grimica version, same as I've got on my P2. I used this connected to here, because obviously I've not got all the pipe and what have you. I've just got this local, just literally clamp that down with your fingers, watch the fluid coming out. I know this is a brand new master cylinder. Again, it's a remote master cylinder, cable operated. I'll have to go through the, excuse me, I'll have to go through the fitting of these. I think they're as good as proper hydraulic, but you know, people will argue that cable stretch, and you know, they are right to some extent, but what I've decided to do is, if you can imagine, this is my Series 2 without the disc brake link, the drum brake link. I'm going to actually use this part because this works fine. Now I've put some new seals, a small and a large seal inside here. They just literally are in a cut out groove. I should have really videoed it, but it was one of them where I was having a roll on my own and I was getting places, and I found out where the leak was, because obviously when it's in, you can't see any leaks. You know, it's like there's no fluid anywhere, and what it was doing was just like bubbling a bit of air, literally in line with where that is. You see with the mark what I made. Like I say, you just pump it out, change the seals, which if I can find another set I can show you what they look like. And when you find these cylinders, I always would suggest that you actually go and buy a spare set of seals. I bought a couple of sets because this is going on the GP. You know, I had 2 sets, but now I've only got 1 with using the previous one. They are in here somewhere, or the other one. I can find them. And put these seals away, and you can never find anything, can you? But, must be in the previous one I took out. In fact, are they there? Yeah. So if I can just open them, so you've got a larger and a smaller seal, and they're going to cutouts in here. This is a Spaq setup, SPAQ, and the piston then is sealed from the outside to the inside by these, and the original ones had perished and leaked, but that's life, I suppose. But Buzz Solar Motos where I bought these from, but there's a few people that stock them, and what I suggest for longevity is buy a couple of sets of them. I've got 2 sets of them, but I've only got 1 now, so I probably will go and buy another set. Cambridge Lambretta, they sell them as well, and they sell them for these disc brakes. if you're going to go with, like I've done, that slave cylinder, because it keeps the originality of the disc brake, in my opinion. They're not out of order, sticking out, you know what I mean? They're not horrible things to look at, and you can put your eye cap. It's a bit of a faff, but you can get your eye cap to fit inside there. So if you can imagine that on the side of the scooter there with the eye cap on, you know, the only thing really missing is the lever itself, but they've got the same workings inside. So you've got your static pad adjustment, and this acts on, if I take it out, it acts on the movable pad. Jeez, I'm bound to pick the wrong two biggest. Oh wow, got the right size 6, and just take that off. What I had to do originally as well with my other brake was get the Dremel and just open out the air holes, and they don't drill the holes here if you want to make it look even more original. They don't have the holes where the original disc brake did have the holes. So they're in quite tight, these Allen bolts. I did actually change them on that, on the Series 2. But what I've gone and done, I've bought a master handlebar master, and I'm going to be putting that on. The reason why I haven't bought 2 is because I might use that one on the GP. I just find that it's very, very tight on the Series 2 horn casting, and I like to keep the horn in place. And I just found putting the bodywork back together was a real faff, and it should just literally just push on. So that's basically a brand new version. That's the movable disc. So if I can not put my head in the way. So you have a static pad in here, like so, which is adjusted by the Allen bolt there and a nut, and it should have a lock washer on it, which obviously I've seen is not on there, so I'll have to order one of them. I don't believe I've got one. I might have one, I don't know. But then you've got this the movable pad, which then is sat inside there, and the piston then pushes that in. The disc brake runs in here, that part. I'm going to drop the Allen key. There it is, it's come out. She's come out alright, a bit fiddly, but then basically if I put these 2 pads back out the way, what you have then, if I can just pick that up out the way, I'm sorry if my head keeps getting in the way, but you have your speedo drive goes in there, and then you have on the disc brake, you only have the one seal that goes in there. Never mess about with a seal again. There's no bearings on this side, they're all on the other side of the hub. So the opposite side I'm going to be using is on my GP at the moment. This one I'm going to spray the whole thing silver to match the forks and what have you. They were sprayed like a candy apple, but not really a fan of that. Plus it had some sign. I'll show you when I take it out anyway. You'll see what I mean. And what I did, these ones are not too bad, but the one on the Series 2, these air holes here were nigh on useless, pretty caked up. I just got again a Dremel in there and just cleaned them out. You see what I mean? If I can hold up the light, you want all these air holes so you've got airflow as you're going along to cool your disc down. That's basically where I'm at the moment. You know, these made in the Far East or whatever, shipped over to our country, and that, you know, they've been in the hot cold climate. I wouldn't be surprised if that one leaked, but I will be using the Grimica again and pumping that out. Might be worth doing that now, clearing that out, just to show you what's inside instead of, you know, guesswork. You can see what you need to change if these leak. You you know, they are. I think this one now seems to be really good. I just say, I just don't like it underneath the horn cast. Plus I can't keep an eye on the level, but it might go in the GP, it might not. I might go handlebar on both of them, master cylinder. Like I say, I've ordered one for the Series 2, a Nissan, so I'm going to be using this original hydraulic hose because it's stainless steel, and it's about the right length to come down the back. I'm going to reroute them. And what I've also got as well, which I can't see there at the moment, I've got the guide for the cable to do the reverse pull. So at the back of the forks it can come off, and this hose can go in the middle to keep it away from rubbing on the forks. We'll see. I'll show you doing that as well. Just another upgrade, I think, with the bike being a bit more powerful now, and I do need it on the GP. I don't know why I've not done it before. So that's the reason for doing the cheap upgrade, if you like. This is probably one of the cheapest ways to do a standard disc brake into hydraulic, apart from the push in. There's ones that push in and they're held in with a circlip. If I can just show you on this plate down below, excuse me while I get my head down in the way again. So like that one, this just pushes in and then the circlip holds. I find them a tad smaller than these, but hey ho, they do the same. This is a cable operated one from Scooters RS, but I'm building up quite a few of these back plates now. But as you can see, what I was saying before, always clean them out, so that you've got airflow, doesn't do it any harm. But you know, I'll connect this up and I'll push out, I'll pump out this, and I'll cut back in again. I want to actually spray this as well and open it up, so I've got some boring Dremel work to be done here. Neat, you know, tidying up the casting, and you don't see that side of it, do you? It's only really there, so you know, I'll probably just flatten off there, primer, and put a couple of coats of my own primer on. So give me about 15 minutes or so. I'll just connect this up and I'll pump it through and I'll show you what it looks like inside. Bye for now. Right, you'll have to excuse me because there's a bit Heath Robinson, but I'm pumping this out of here. So I filled up the Grimmica and I've basically bled the system. And if I just pump now, if I can get you a bit closer while I move the camera, you should see that piston coming out. So what I'm doing is now is if I'm pulling the brake lever, you see it coming out. Normally that would be in on pushing against the disc, and this lever, what I'm pushing, wouldn't come all the way as it's doing now. It wouldn't, if you follow my drift, because it's against the pressure. This lever would be solid letting go. When you let go, it goes in slightly. I don't know if you can see that. If it was under pressure, I can feel it, but probably can't see it very well. So what I'm going to do now is just take that pipe off and just pump it a little bit more, and then I'm going to have to obviously watch what I'm doing with bleeding this down. I'm going to pour all the fluid out, let the air get into it, and then all you do is get a pair of pliers and just pull that, and then I'll cut back in again and show you what this looks like. But if you can see on the top of there, see where all the salt's got in it, and you know, the casting. So what my advice to you is to do this, take it out and give that a good polish, and polish the inside, so that this one's pretty good. It's moving, you know, it's moving really easy, to be honest with you. That ain't far from being all the way out, but they can get corroded enough that this doesn't move, which was what was happening with the one I had on the Series 2. It was literally, because it had a tiny air leak here, it wasn't pushing out. It would sort of push and then come back in again. What can you say? You know, they're from the Far East, aren't they? You just have to fettle with half the stuff that comes from the Lambretta stable from wherever it comes from, but you know, it's just take your time. Like I say, bleed the system out. I'm quite lucky that if I pull out again and show you, I've got the Grimmica there, so all I'm doing is pushing on that. It's bringing out that piston. Obviously I don't want the piston to let all the fluid just pour out everywhere. I nearly said another word, but this is what this old cable, the old Champion cables that came from India, came in a tub like this. They some of the best cables I believe ever made for a scooter. They just stretched once, you adjusted them, and then Bob's your auntie the next time you changed them because they'd snapped. You know, they used to get years and years of wear and tear out of them. I don't know who made them, but Scooters Restoration used to bring them in, and I used to buy them by the tub load like that. So you buy the whole set cheaper than buying, you know, individual ones, but in the past. But like I say, I'll cut away for a minute and just open this out. I'll pull this out. There's just a pair of pliers on the end. The end part basically is what you've got to be careful of. If you get it loose enough with your finger, it'll pop out anyway. And like taking a carburetor off, if you put a socket in there with a rag and just literally push it sideways while pulling it, it will come out. What you want to try and avoid is any marking on the outside. That's why I say polish it. The more polished it is, the easier it's going to move, and probably the harder it is to seal, but that's another story. I'm quite happy that this slave cylinder is, there's nothing wrong with it basically, and I could have got away with just using it, but me being a perfectionist and going over the top as usual, I do like to have everything as probably about as spot on as I can get it. So we'll take that apart and I'll show you what it looks like inside. Bye for now. Right, so we've got our parts out. They're the two, I'll get a pointer. They're the two seals, small one in the front, large one at the back. Basically they're what seal the fluid from coming out from the piston and let the piston slide in and out. As you can see, it's not very shiny, is it? When you look at the one that I've been using in the Series 2, I don't know if you can see the difference in the polishing. It's got quite a few scratches on this as well, but it seems to work all right. What I'm going to be doing is just taking the Dremel to that and just polishing it, go around in a circle. Don't go too mad, obviously. I'm not changing these seals and because it didn't leak when I checked it, but I don't know if you can see in there is a little bit of corrosion, so I'll probably put some cleaner, some chrome polish or whatever, and just take that tarnish off of that. And then I can push that back in a vise and it's ready to be used then. Like I say, there's nothing wrong with this one. It works. If I pull it, you can see it works. The piston comes out. You probably can't see that on the camera, but I'm not doing a million mile an hour there and it's coming out. I can feel it pushing against my thumb. There's nothing wrong with that one. This really is going on the GP anyway. It was just more to show you what I'm going to be doing. I don't need to paint the hub on the Series 2 as well, but I do need to obviously paint the GP one up. So I'll just move that out of the way actually, because I've had it stood up out of the way over here. As such, and of course it knocks over the Grimmica one. With all brake fluid, avoid touching paint or anything with it. Make sure you've got clean hands. Don't reuse the rags on anything. Bin them all. As soon as it's got hydraulic fluid on it, bin it, because it will take your paint off. Especially the modern water-based paints, they don't stand a chance. So like I say, I'm going to cut away again. I'm going to do some polishing on that, won't be very long doing that anyway. And yeah, just do a bit of cleaning and I'll pop back and just show you what that looks like. Right, so I've cleaned the piston and I've cleaned inside there. As you can probably see, it's a lot cleaner than it was. And what I tend to do then is just put a bit of hydraulic fluid just inside here so that the piston can move freely. Just literally a finger, put your finger on it and just wet around like so. You should be able to get your piston. Just put it around on the end there. Look at that, I can push it quite hard, but I can push it in. I'm quite happy with that. That's ready to go now. So all I've got to do is put the bleed screw back on. I'm just going to tighten that, not madly. Put the cap on and then put the banjo on, or at least the bolt anyway, and give that a wipe again. Then I can put that to one side. That's done. And if we needed to change the rubbers, they are quite fiddly, and I suggest you get a hook set if you haven't. Be careful when you're hooking them out, you don't score anything in there. As I said before, you want it to move, be able to move quite freely like that one can. And also seal. It's got to seal. If it doesn't seal, you're wasting your time. But I'm just cleaning a bit of gumph out of there, because it's got the cut out. I don't know, you probably can't see that on the camera, but it's got a little groove there. See, I can't, that's a lip, so that the eye cap can go in on there. That's one of the things I do like about these. So as far as I'm concerned, you can put that in a plastic bag if you want. I'll be using it in a couple of weeks. So that one can go up on my shelf. That's ready to be used. So I'm going to end that video here today. I've got some bits and bobs I want to do on the original Li engine. I'm going to put the hub on it, the brakes on it. I'll probably do a quick video of that. Doesn't hurt. I've got to put the bridge on back on the Series 2, but I'm leaving that stuff till I'm sort of debating whether to respray the leg shields again or not. I'll see how I feel and how the weather does. We get a bit of nice weather and it can dry out, then all well and good. But thanks for watching again. I hope these little videos are giving you confidence to do bits and bobs yourself. That's the name of the game. That's what I'm after. I'm not, you know, never going to be a millionaire out of doing scooter bits anyway. It's a one-way street of money going the opposite way, unfortunately. But you know, I've picked up loads of things over the years, and if I can help anybody, you know, ask questions away, I'm always here, or somewhere. I'm always about anyway. So thanks for watching. Take care everybody. Look after each other. Bye for now.